It's too nasally. I was just like rounding up with my concluding statement, right?
Yeah.
Then when I discovered out, and then it's as if, and then I discovered out, actually, it's as if I was alone. Then I said, so what was going on?
And then when I logged back in, I saw Stan and what they discussed. I was like, is this a different class or what?
Okay. So, I mean, I just have to. I will share the PowerPoint that I've prepared in the group. So, if there are no other questions, I think Arnold will just, as nature has it, he was already the presenter, so he will just continue. Hello?
I hope I did not.
No. We're virtually through, and then also we're like rounding up and waiting for you to show up.
No, I've been there.
Okay.
Thanks, Kleiner.
Thanks so much for your attention.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you
so much.
All right.
So thanks so much. To share the PowerPoint.
Yes, I'm going to do that immediately.
Great presentation, Salio.
Thank you. Thanks.
It was great.
Okay, Mr. Leo, that was a detailed presentation. Can you guys hear me? I'm sure you probably have already done what I was about to do today. However, we're just still going to make use of the time. Okay. So this is more like some kind of review and continuation of what Mr. Leo just did with you guys. We are going to do more of the practical part of it.
Are we going to create the database? The container database?
If it's something you guys have not done already, yes, we will create it. I was about asking if you guys have done that before.
No, we have not.
You haven't?
No.
Okay, we are going to do that. We're going to see how to create container database, how to plug a container database and plug it. In case we forgot to create the container database at start, in case we forgot to create the pluggable database upon creation of the container database, then we'll also see how to use a script to create a pluggable database to an existing container database.
Okay.
Yes, so we also have to go a little bit back. Like we are not doing all what has been done, but we're just gonna take our memory a little bit back since it's still fresh on what we just studied to get some understanding why the introduction of the concept of a container database. Who can try? Why, if they ask you why would you use a container database instead of a single instance database? Container database is multi-tenant, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just do a quick explanation of that. Okay, so I'm sure we are all familiar with the architecture of a container database, and we have a very good understanding that the container database concept was introduced from Oracle 12c and above. Oracle 12c and above, which means the Oracle versions below the 12c, I think it's 12c.0 or something like that, they don't have the container database inside. Okay, so let's say this is our container. Let's first of all try to understand what used to happen within the single instance databases when we create them. Okay, so this is a single instance, and in this single instance we have a database. We can have multiple databases in one instance, right? Is that true?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. We have plus C and BT there.
Sorry?
Yes.
Yes. So in one instance, we can have multiple databases. Okay, so this is assumed to be one database. In this instance, we have one database, and probably we have another database, and we have another database attached to this. And quickly remember that for each of these databases created, let's say this is our we can call this, like somebody said, class T database. You said this could be your DB BTDEF, let's call it BTDEF. And you can call this something else, maybe class P, anything. It's just understand that there are different databases. In this instance, we have these different databases, and this is the single instance databases, right? And each of these databases are going to have like their own data file. Okay, so this database is going to have its own data file, and same thing for this database. Same thing for this database. Each of these databases will equally have their own control files. Same thing here. This have its own control file. And this one to also have its own control file. Am I right? These databases, upon creation, they will have SP files, right? SP files will be attached to this database. So we have an SP file, or what you call parameter file. So you have an SP file that is attached to this database, SP file, and same thing for this one, and same thing for this one, SP file. And when creating this SP file or this database, we give memory. You could probably have given some memory size. All of us remember when we have created databases a couple of times, right? And we all remember that at some point you have to either physically or manually allocate the memory for your database, or you can leave it to be automatically allocated. Whichever way you do, they all have memory. And the memory could be directed to the SP file. So which means if you go in your SP file, you should be able to see the memory allocated for that database. So whatever memory is given, let's say your SGA can be given some SGA, you can have something like 50 GB. This would definitely not be the same, may or may not just want to make it look clear. This memory may or may not be the same with with this one, with the memory allocated for class P. So class P, we might give something like 60 GB. It's a possibility. Could be the same. It's not. We are not sure. It all will depend on why we are creating the database and the size of the data that we envisage to load into it. So we may have different memories. So we can have something like 70 here. Okay. So in a single database instance now, if along the line, remember these guys, they don't share the same SP file, data files, control files, and all of that. If along the line, for some reason, this class C is out of space. Class C is out of space. Let's say class C has utilized about 90% of its memory and is in need of memory. Do you think class C will be able to get the memory? Let's say we have not used, out of the 60 GB, we have used only 20% for class P. Is it possible for us to get some memory, let's say even 10% or 10 gig from class P and allocate to class T so that class T can use it?
No.
No. The answer is no. So that's not possible. So you already see some kind of a setback with single instance databases if you have to deal with multiple databases and you are creating each database on its own, right? So in this case, we start seeing how the possibility of having performance issues when we are running out of space and we cannot reallocate existing space from somewhere to where we have insufficient space. Okay, so now because of shortcomings like this is just I'm trying to make it snappy because I know you guys already went through this. Because of this kind of shortcoming where if we have issues with memory we cannot share, the concept of container or multi-tenant database was used. That concept of multi-tenant, which we've all seen as demonstrated by the previous instructor.
But if I understand correctly, it helps us to manage resources available better.
Yes, you can say that. So for this purpose, we have our container database that was introduced from C. This is not the only reason. You guys must have seen some other reasons, but this is one of the reasons why the multi-tenants database concept was introduced. Okay, so which means now in this case we have our CDB root container database. You can call it, this is our container database, and in this container database we have our CDB $root, which is the main. This is like your main database inside this container database. Main database inside this container database instance, you have the CDB root, and by default, the CDB PDBC is created. PDBC. By default, PDB C, I think if there's dollar there, I'm not too sure. PDBC $C, yeah, something like that. PDB $C is created by default. And now, when we will be creating our container database, we will not need to create this manually. Even this one, there's no way you have to give a name like CDB root what we shall be creating is the container database instance, CDB, for example. We create this CDB is our instance, the container database instance, and inside here we are going to have this CDB root and this PDB seed. Now, we will have to, as need be, create we'll have to create some pluggable databases, as we are going to see. We'll create some pluggable databases and attach to this CDB root or this container database. We are going to create some pluggable databases and attach it here. So let's say this is one database, this is the default database, and it is plugged to this one. Okay. We'll create, for purpose of demonstration, we'll create maybe one more pluggable database. We'll create one pluggable database, and we are going to plug it to our container database. So this will be maybe PDB1. You can give any name, depending on the service level agreement that you have with your company. You create this pluggable database. Each of these pluggable databases that you create will have they will share a common, all of these databases are going to share some common resources. What are some of those common resources that they will share? Do we remember? Because we're going to see this practice. Sorry?
Control files.
Control files. So they will share a common resource like control files.
SGA in general.
You're talking about SP file, right? Something like that. SP file, yes. They can put SGA, as you said.
Table spaces.
Sorry?
Table spaces.
Table spaces, okay. Yes, table spaces.
And they also share the same background processes, right?
Yes, they share common background processes. We can just abbreviate that as BP, background processes. Will they share a common data file or the pluggable databases? Is it possible that they will share a common data file even with a container CDB root or the container database?
Yes.
How about log file?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we share common log files, as you guys said. Okay, so data file, they will not share a common data file. We are going to see that practically. We'll verify if it's true that they share a common data file or not. All of these things, we are going to verify them, okay? So I'm going to put here data file. Okay. So they are going to share a common control file, memory, table space, background processes, log files. They won't share a common data file. Okay, but we will see that we are going to verify that when we create our pluggable database, our container database, and subsequent pluggable databases. and do some query on it. Okay, so now we see that if in case, for example, let's say PDB, let's say we have another pluggable database here. We have another pluggable database called PDB2. PDB2, right? And PDB1 upon creation, we give, see, when we are creating this container database, that is when we allocate the SGA, right? That's when we allocate the SGA. And at that point, maybe we had allocated some 50 SGA, we say our SGA should be 50 GB. We gave 50 GB for our SGA. Okay. This 50 GB will be dynamically distributed to these different pluggable databases. You will not have to distribute them yourself. You only create the database, the pluggable database, and each time you create a container database, you can give this memory, and this will be directed into the SP file. So each time you add a pluggable database, a memory will be allocated to that pluggable database from this container, this SGA that was allocated at the container level. Whatever is there, some of it will be allocated to that PDB. So in this case, let's say we have two PDBs and they are equally shared between the two, or let's say maybe 20%. We have maybe 20 GB was allocated to this PDB1. 20 GB was allocated to PDB1, and maybe 30 GB, this is just maybe 25 GB was allocated to PDB2. And along the line, maybe your company had exhausted some good amount of space from this PDB1, and probably about 90% has been used, and then you have like 5 GB left, and in that case, probably some more information needs to be added, but you are out of space. You guys usually see that when you are having some error issues. Sometimes you see you are short of memory and you cannot start up your database. In this case, where we are short of space, we need more memory. Is it possible for us to get more memory from PDB2 and allocate to PDB1?
Of course, yes.
Correct. So we see how, yes, go ahead, you say something else. Okay, I thought you were still talking, Glory, there.
No.
Okay, so in this case, we see the importance of having a container, working in a container database environment, vis-a-vis working in a single or a non-container database environment. It's easier to share resources when we have insufficient memory in a particular database, pluggable database. We can share from whatever is available in the other database. But in non-container or single instance databases like this one, or let's say non-container database, because even the container database is a single instance database as well. It's a single instance, but it is a multi-tenant database. It's single instance. Okay, so we see that if we have multiple non-container databases, it's more challenging to manage, especially when it comes to resources, compared to if we have multi-tenant container database. So this is it gives us like some understanding of why the introduction of the concept of a container database. Okay. Any question on that? Because I have to move from here. I know it's what you guys have been discussing for the past 2 hours.
Yeah, Arnold.
Yes, sir.
I know this what you did was just like a kind of demonstration, but just for clarification purposes, the seed PDB is from there that any other PDB that want to create is clone, right? As clone is one of them. Anyway, there are many. I was just saying, like, with respect to what you sketched, are we supposed to link the created PDBs to the PDB's seed?
I'm not sure about that, because you can connect to your PDBs directly, and you can, when you are creating the pluggable database, you do not really need to specify that it's created from the PDB seed. But you might be right. We'll see that in our as we go ahead with the creation of the pluggable databases and plugging them. It's a good question. Let us, as we move along, at the end of the day, we'll probably answer that question with precision.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, cool. Any other question? So, if I may ask, is it, since you guys don't have a question, let me ask my question on this, where we are. Is it advisable to create or to add data, to put data in our CDB database? Say, for example, the CDB root database. It's a container database, right? It also has its own. It also has access to all those SP files and the rest. But is it advisable to put data here? So we know you put your data in PDB1, PDB2, and all of that. But here, can we put data here?
No.
Should we store data in the CDB?
No.
Good. It's not a best practice. Best practice, you put your data inside the pluggable databases. Okay, so let's move on to the practical part. I just came back to this so that we have an understanding of why we are creating pluggable databases, because that's what we'll be doing.
Okay, so I have a question there.
Yes, please.
My question is, you said it's not the best practice to have data files centralized to be shared between the...
No, I did not say centralized. I said it's not advisable to put data in your container database.
Okay. So the data files is one of the resources that is being shared, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my question, going back to...
Data files, no. Data files is... It's data for one of the resources that are shared are control file, SP file, data file. Each of those databases will have their data file. Don't share them.
Okay, so data files is not one of the...
No.
Is shared between the pluggables?
Not a shareable file among the pluggable databases.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, and we will see that when we try to verify the location of the data files and that of the container database. Okay, so let me log in. Okay, so here we have this. This is from the book, okay? Everybody, you should go. We are on chapter 31, no, 32. Chapter 32. So the exercises we'll be doing here will come from the book. At some point, I'm going to switch back to the book. So if you have chapter 32, you can follow with this. And Stanley made me to understand you guys have not created a container database, so we are going to do that right now. Okay, so let's try to understand. The chapter begins by saying creating and managing multi-tenant container and pluggable databases. And we are going to try to put this in steps, so you have like the step-by-step to create a container database, okay? But one of the things we have to understand is a non-container database is distinguished from a container database and instance by two attributes that must be specified at creation time and can never be changed subsequently. These attributes are the memory structure in the instance, which is enabled by starting the instance with the instance parameter. This is the instance parameter. Enable pluggable database equals true. And the second attribute is a control file structure, which is enabled by the clause enable pluggable database to the create database command. So this, when we are using like the silence mode to create a database, we can add this to that command. The command is somewhere down there. You'll see it. So there are multiple ways you can create your container database, one of which is the DBCA. So you can run a DBCA just like you want to create a regular database. But at some point you have to choose, you have to specifically indicate that you are creating a container database. So, but before we go into creating the container database, which is what we're going to do right now, let us have some further understanding of this container database. Now, we know that in case, let's say, if we want to create this container database, the home, the Oracle home, is it going to have, are we going to have different home for all the pluggable databases that we're creating? See, we have a...
No.
We're going to have one Oracle home, right? Okay, and everybody already have an Oracle home existing. Do you guys have has Prof given you a second machine?
What do you mean a second machine?
Okay, like, you know, you have the server where you have the class T database. That's a machine, that's a computer, that's a server. So I want to know if you have like at least two servers. You have a second server? That server
I don't think so. I just have one.
Your first server, the IP address ends with 30. Will end with some 2 digits.
Yeah, we just have
and
one.
The second IP address will end with about 3 digits. That's how it does it.
We just have one.
We have just
one.
one.
It's not giving that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to manage that container database inside that one that you have. We're going to manage that. By default, not really by default, but like we said, container databases are configured or inbuilt, or it's possible to create container databases from Oracle 12c. So at least everybody has 12c software, 12c running on that particular machine you guys have, right? BT Dev. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
BT Dev. Yes. So we are going to use the BT Dev Oracle Home to create our container database. Now, before you create any database, it's as you must have you must have installed your OUI. So at this point, everybody has the OUI installed. That's why you are able to access the BTDEV database, right? I just need everybody to verify if your BTDEV if you have your BTDEV installed.
Yes, we have the BTDEV installed and created the database for BTDEV, so we can switch.
So you can access your 12C database.
Yes.
Okay, good. So the first thing you want to do after installing your OUI, which is what I'm assuming everybody has done, before moving into creating a database, you must ensure that the listener is up and running. One thing we have to take note of is that it will be difficult for you to connect to your pluggable database if your listener is not available. Because why so? If you write a simple query, let me just use this first for example. This is my container database. Inside this container database, I have at least one pluggable database in it. If I write a simple query, say SQL plus /CDBA, I'm about connecting to what? This is my CDB container database instance. So if I do this, if I run this command, what will I connect to? I have pluggable databases in here. Will I connect to this? This is my CDB.
You connect to the root,
instance.
the CDB.
Will I connect here, or I'm going to connect to this one or this one? Which one will I connect to if I fire this command?
You connect to the root, the CDB root.
To the CDB root. Okay. So if you have to connect to this PDB2, PDB1, okay, or any pluggable database, you must have your listener up and running. That's okay. That's simply because if you have to connect like this, say maybe sys add. If you know the root, the PDB, the pluggable database's name, you give like PDB1. If you fire this command and if there is any pluggable database existing inside this container database as PDB1, it's going to connect to it. But that is only if the listener is up and running. If your listener is not up and running, you cannot bypass the pluggable database to connect here. You probably have to connect to the container, to the root database, and then subsequently connect to your pluggable database by doing alter session set that. Okay. All right. So let us verify if our listener is up and running. Everybody, for the class T, for the BTDEV, LS and RCTL status. Mine is done. So I'm going to start mine.
If it's connected to 11, do you stop it and restart it so you connect to the 12?
If it's connected to 11, you may want to stop to shut down the. No, don't stop the. Do not stop it here. It doesn't show anything. It doesn't show like it's registered to your CDB BTDEV seed. BTDEV service.
It just gave me the version of the listener, the database that is connected to, and so
and that is
class T.
Class T.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will probably want to go into your listener and verify if you have a listener for BTDEV. And if the listener name is different, you use that to start off your BTDEV. So just type TNS, but this is not the proper shortcut for listener. If you want to go to listener, you have to go to the network Oracle
Yeah.
home/DBS, then listener. Okay, so you just do this, and LL will see our listener. VI into your listener, and verify if you have a listener for BTDev. And see if the name for your BTDev listener is the same with that of class T. Okay, so by now I have list BTDev, seed list BTDev, seed description, database name. So my BTDev is this, and my seed, my this. So this is the name of my BTDev listener. I'm going to try to start up again using this name, list BTDev.
Global name class T.
Okay, mine says it's already running, so I'm going to shut it down one more time. Yes. Stop. Okay, then start it. Okay, so you can see mine has this. Now my listener is listening to my BTDev before it wasn't.
Okay.
You can do the same thing I did if you were following. If not, what I did is I had to stop the listener. First of all, I started by verifying the name of my BTDev listener. At some point, you might have created it and give it a different name from your class T listener. So if that's the case, if that's what you did, you stop the listener from running.
Yeah.
Go verify, go into your listener.aura. Verify the name of your listener for BTDev. I verified mine, I did not know it.
I think I didn't create for that. I'm just going to create it right now.
Sorry?
So when I check my listener.aura file, it gave me just a class T. So I think I have to
you have only class T.
I have only class T.
Okay,
so I'm just going to Net Manager.
Configure. Yes,
go to Net Manager. Let me show you real quick how you do that. Net Manager might take you a little bit of time. What you do is you go back to that file, that listener.aura. See that class T. You can copy it like this. The listener for class T. Okay. You can copy something. The entire listener for class T should end like that.
Yeah.
Then go scroll down.
Yeah.
Is that. So make sure you're in insert mode.
Okay.
Then paste it down there. I'm gonna do some space. Paste it and then adjust the listener name. So adjust the parameters. So here you have, see, for example, mine, I have the global database name is BTDev.
Yeah.
That if I had to configure this for BTDev, I'll just remove this.
The class T.
No, I'll remove. So what you do is remove everything here and replace with BTDev.
Okay.
So you put BTDev.
So for the global name, and both the global name and the seed name.
The same. It's supposed to be the same for your case.
Okay. That's a really short.
And then for the listener itself, because this is to identify the seed, the global, the seed, and the global name.
Yeah.
And make sure that the directory for class C is not what you have for BTDev. See, BTDev has some 12.2.0 you have to change that. When you copy that, change this. Make sure the file path
Yeah.
is your Oracle home.
Yeah.
If you don't know, if you're not sure of your Oracle home, do this. Right click on the tab, duplicate tab. Okay. Duplicate that tab. Make sure you're in BTDEV and just do echo $ Oracle _home. Then you see that you can copy this for purpose of convenience, because it might not be the same with mine. But whatever you see here is your Oracle home.
Okay.
Copy it. Go back to that VI. Compare it. If it's not the same, you replace it. So what you do is just delete that. For anybody who has the same issue, please follow this. Do not come back here. We have a very long night to go. Delete this and replace it. After doing that, you also realize the port address for your BTDEV does not exist. So copy what you have for class T.
Okay, so this is
copy whatever you have for class T.
The listener description with the port and
copy like that. Whatever you have for class T, the address like this up to this point. Scroll down somewhere and drop that there. Okay.
Yeah.
You drop it there, and then you want to make sure your port number for the listener, you can leave it like that. Whatever you have for BTDEV, you can leave it. Whatever you have a class T, you can leave it, but you want to change the name of the listener. Here is the name of the listener. Change it to what you prefer. Mine is list BTDEV. You can give it whatever name you want.
Okay.
Yes, that is what you are going to use to call to start or stop your specific listener.
Okay.
For that database.
Okay.
Arnold?
Yes, please.
I enter the LSN RCTL and let me welcome to LNS RCTL, type help for information.
No, you didn't do something well. Try to make sure you type it well. Let me show you. You probably missed something. It's like this, LSN RCTL. Then make sure you put you must put an argument, what you want. Start or stop. Okay? You must put an argument. What do you want LSN RCTL to do? So probably you just did LSN RCTL. You didn't put any start or stop. So you should try that one more time and tell me what you see. So if I do mine and say status, if I want to see the status, that's my argument. I can just put start. It's going to understand that I'm looking for status. And it's going to
I did start and it's telling me undefined command. LSNRCTL.
Like
Try.
did you do this?
Yeah.
STAT.
No.
Status.
Oh, status.
Just check the status. Try to do this. LSNRCTL status.
How many I don't understand.
It's still telling me undefined command.
That's serious. Okay.
Look if it's not in
Stanley,
caption.
how far are you almost?
I'm almost done.
Okay, so because I'm waiting for you since you are the only one with
Arnold.
Yes, please.
I have a question though.
Please share your screen.
Can I go ahead?
Sorry, yeah, ask your question, please.
Yeah, my listener is only listening to BTDEV.
That's fine. That's what we want to work with. So
okay, all right, thank you.
So I should share my screen?
Yes, please. Okay. You are doing in the wrong place. Okay. That's because you first of all did LSNRCTL without any argument. So it brought you to this command line. So exit. Type exit. Okay, try it one more time. So you see, yours is listening to class T only. Okay. So you want to make sure you verify if you have class BTDEV listener existing, and if so, start it with the listener name. So type. This is the location of your listener. It's easy. Just go see where you have U01 app Oracle. That's home. So it's home, network, admin, listener. So just type cd space $ Oracle home. Oracle home _ home, yes. / network. No. Lowercase.
/admin.
Yes, admin. Enter. Okay. VI, or you can do LL just to be sure, but VI to the listener.aura.
Pardon, no.
VI into your listener.aura. Let's try to be quick so that we have about 3 topics. 3 topics in this chapter to cover tonight. No. Don't do Control C. Don't do Control C here. VI, then right click. VI space right click. Space right click. Yes. Good. Enter. Now, you don't have a listener? Whoa. Well, how come your thing is listening to class T? So this is the only listener you have here. Go to your TNS. Let me see. You have to create a listener for BTDev. Escape and exit. Escape, and exit. I need someone will have to help you because you need to do some extra work. I don't know who else is online. Escape.
Escape colon Q.
You don't even bother to escape. Just do column, shift column. Shift column. Press down your shift and column on your keyboard. Yes. Then quit. You can quit without saving. It's okay. Yeah. So I need someone to assist you. You can stop sharing. So what you do is, do you know how to create a listener using NetMGR?
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay. So create a listener for your BTDev. You don't have it. And also make sure you create the TNS for that BTDev. If not, you will be able to follow with us. Let me see you. Hey, Leo, are you still there? Lionel? Prince?
I can be honored. And I will see me. Honored, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Prince,
what about if you have the listener configured with the net manager and you still cannot add the listener and do the BTDev?
No, it's not possible except your TNS is not configured. If you not add your database name to your TNS, then you may not register it like this.
Okay, so if that is the case, you want to go to the TNS.R and update it with your information for the BTDev.
Yes, if yours is like that, then go and check your.
Okay, all right.
Who is there?
Yes, if everybody needs help, put your any days. I'm here.
Make class.
All right. Okay, so I guess we Stanley, are you okay now?
Yeah, but I think the issue I have is the TNS. I don't have the BT database in the TNS because I changed the listener. The listener is done, but
yes, you just do the same thing in the TNS. You look at the existing TNS. If it's not there, what do you have? Class T. Copy and paste and change just the information.
Okay.
Let me demonstrate that here so you see.
Alright, I got it.
Let me do that. For anybody whose situation is where Stanley is, this is what we do. First of all, verify if we are in that location. For this, so I'm going to delete this thing that I did here. I don't need it. Oh, shit.
I send my NDDEX on the forum for anybody that can come in and help.
Okay,
someone indicated.
Yeah, someone will come in. Prince, are you still there? Floribet, any dashes?
Yeah, I'm going into it. I'm going into
You
it.
call him directly on the phone so that you guys may not interrupt the class.
Yeah.
Okay. So watch Stanley and anybody else who is on this at this level.
Yeah.
You have your listener. You can
Mhm.
verify that the listener does exist.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can also verify that your TNS.aura exists.
Yes.
So what you do is via into that TNS
Mhm.
and see what you have here. Okay. You have
Yeah.
this kind of information in your TNS. Okay. What you want to do is simply take one of them.
Yeah.
Anyone. You can take this one. Anyone. Doesn't matter. And go below.
Mhm.
It's always good to put it below so that at the bottom, so you can always, if you mess up, you can delete with ease. I'm going to right click. Now I want my TNS to be responding to my seed, BTDEV.
Yeah.
Assuming this was class T, I would delete and put BTDEV.
Yeah.
You go down, the next thing you pay attention to is the port number at the address level. Verify if the address
It's the same.
31, the host is 31, and the port number 2 is the same one you have a listener.
Yeah.
Then you also go down to your connection.
Yeah.
And make sure your seed is listening to BTDEV. Your seed is BTDEV.
Yeah.
If that is done, all you need to do is
What about when it's because with mine it's shared. I have a server. It's going to shared.
yours is what?
So after the connection data, I
You
have
have the service name.
I
Is
have
that what you're saying?
no. I have server. It's
Server.
called to share.
Shared server. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. And then I have the service name, BTDEV.
Yeah, it's a shared server. It's okay. Just leave it like that. Service name is BTDEV.
Yeah.
Change that.
Yeah.
That's fine. If that's what you copy, if that's what you have, just copy and replace that.
Okay. And that
What's
will.
the server? What's the server is what?
So
You have like server and service name,
I have server and service name.
and your server is shared server,
Shared, yes.
and your service name is
I have the class T and I have the
change now
BTDEV.
to BTDEV.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Leave it like that, and see if you have done those changes, you can now exit. Exit. Escape mode. I'm not going to save mine, but you have to save yours.
Yes.
Yes. Now verify the status of your listener.
It says
Just if it has some information, stop it.
I have information.
Stop the listening. It doesn't have anything related to BTDEV, right?
No. It have class T. One has one instant class T.
Yeah, stop it.
I've stopped it.
Now start the listener again. And then let's see what comes up.
It have one service name, which is the same class T.
Okay. Share your screen. Yeah, because if we are not able to get this done, the rest of the part will just be not, you will not be able to do anything. So please, as we are fixing Stanley's stuff, the rest of you, if you have the same situation, just follow and make sure you fix yours. Sometimes it takes a little while for the listener to get registered to the TNS, for the seed to get registered to the TNS. Yeah, so let's check the status. Oh, yeah, let's do that. Okay. Yeah, did you check the status?
Yeah, I just check it right now.
Okay, so let me see something. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll change the port number, okay?
Okay.
Yes, apparently since they are listening to the same port, they are listening. So go down to BTDEF list. Yes. Okay. Wait a minute. Did you start the listener like this? Did you try to start it like this?
No.
Okay, so let's first of all, before doing that, let's exit this. And we'll try to stop that listener one more time. The listener is running, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you do this, if you do it like this,
Yeah.
link directly to the initial listener, which is like the default listener class T.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's why you may be having such issues. So we are going to start this status. Start this. Okay, so it should be having issue with port. TNS missing listener name. So your TNS doesn't have this name, you did not put it there. So we'll go now into your TNS and see what's there. Yeah. TNS. All right. Okay, so your thing should be listening to that is BTDEF. Okay, so
Thank you.
Missing listener name. Listener BTDEF in listener.aura. Oh yeah, let me see. Listener BTDEF. So where is the BTDEF originally? It should be. This is your BTDEF, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to change this. See, listener BTDEF seat list name. Yeah, but it's there. Okay, let me just. Mhm. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just take out that thing
Yeah.
and then use NGR to do it and stop wasting time.
Yeah.
Yep. For some reason, it's not responding. So we'll take out this not to mess up your stuff. This is what you added, right?
Yeah.
You added right up to here.
Yes.
You added this address name. Oh, let me see. Listener. Okay. But before then, let me see something one more time. Where you copy from here, right?
Yeah.
Copy from here. You can just give this like this. Let's just give that, and then we're going to assign that address is and we're going to call this one. Try it one more time. Okay, it's not working.
I think we have to.
Okay. This is how it was before, right?
Yeah.
Initial.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll leave it at that. And save this. See. see. Also going to take this out.
Okay.
Okay. In case you want to know what I did to take everything out at once, it's you press 3, number 3.
Yeah.
Sit and hold, and then press GG.
Okay.
The long press on 3, and then GG is going to put everything below your cursor.
Okay.
Yes.
3 hold DD.
Yes. Going to delete everything below your cursor, and that only works in the command line when you are working at the
OS level.
Sorry.
At the OS level.
No, at the command level.
Command level. Okay.
Yes. Command. You know, have the command and the insert.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So what you do now is run netmgr and then create that listener for BTDEV. Just do it so everybody else will see. And is anybody else having the same situation with Stanley and Florida? So
yes, I'm having the same problem, sir.
Yeah, please just follow this. I don't know, what level are you, please? Did you check? Did you try to do what we did and yours could
Yes,
not?
I was following along.
And you had the same situation?
Yes, I had the exact same situation.
Okay, just follow this one. Take out everything you added in your listener and TNS and do this one.
Oh.
Okay. Arnold, can I say something?
Yes, please.
Last week I had the same problem and I actually got an error, and I went online to see if I could troubleshoot, and my mistake is I did not record. I didn't make a note. I guess I was too tired, so I actually got to how I resolved mine, but I got the same problem.
So do you still have the same problem?
No, I don't. That was why I was saying that my listener could handle read BTDEV.
Okay, that's fine. Wait. See, you remember we had to give a different listener, a different port.
Okay. Oh, we have to give a different port. Okay, 22.
Then I'll go to. Wait a minute. Don't be in the haste. When you do this, you have only created a listener.
Yeah.
And it's still not going to serve the purpose.
I was going to save it and go to the service and add it.
Don't worry, you save at the end. So do the next thing. Yes, just continue with the next thing. You save at the end, okay?
Okay.
I thought you wanted to read. Don't worry to test it, just finish. Cannot add anything there.
Oh.
Go back to listener. Yes. Go to location. Yeah, click the database service. This is what we were trying to do and it was not working. Okay. So now add the database to the TNS. Give it a name. That's cool. That's okay. You can save and quit now. Zion, did you follow up to this level? Are you with us?
You know, I know.
Okay, that's fine. So you can save and quit now. Okay, now start the listener. What's the name of the listener you gave?
Listener
BT
BT
Dev?
Dev.
Is it the same one we're using?
Yeah.
Just do the up arrow a couple of times to see it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's fine now. You see, it's listening to the BT Dev
Dev
now.
now, yeah.
Okay, so you're good. Start sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so in order to test this now, connect remotely to your BT Dev database. You know how to do that?
Remote to it.
Your BT Dev database. Do a remote connection. SQL plus space sys system. You can just use system. Okay. Sys, what's your password for sys? At BTDev. Always use the same character for the BTDev C.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's case sensitive, but it's good to use what you have so that if there's error, you know where to start troubleshooting. Okay, no.
Oh.
As sysdba when you do that. Enter a couple of times. Yeah. As sysdba. Enter. Yeah, you are connected to an idle instance, so you are going to face this problem. Try to start up your database. And open. Okay, that's good. You're fine. Okay, so you see, you can connect remotely to your Class C database. If it's a container database, and you want to connect to the pluggable database, you put the pluggable database name here, and you connect directly to that database if it's open. That's why we are doing, ensuring we have this listener connected.
Yeah.
So that each time we'll be able to connect to our PDB. Okay. So you can stop sharing. You're fine.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Zion, how far? You want to look into what you're doing, or you're fine? Zion, are you with us?
I'm testing it right now. Give me 1 second.
Sorry?
I'm trying to test it right now.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to share my screen.
It's still not connecting for me.
If Zion is good, then we are all fine.
Still not connecting for me, sir.
It's still not connected?
No.
No? Share your screen. Let me stop sharing. Something you're surely missing. Share your screen, please. Florida, what's up? Are you guys good now? Are you unable to save this? No, but this thing is still on. You cannot connect, my brother. You have to save and quit from this wizard. No, don't minimize it. If you did everything correctly, don't minimize. Just, okay. File, save connection. There is no changes that have been made. Okay, so quit. Click OK and quit. No, don't quit like that, man. It's always good to use the proper way to exit. Do you? Yes, start it now. No. Use the name of the listener that you gave. Don't stop him, just use the up arrow. Up arrow. Do you remember the name of the listener? Okay. It's this one. But it's not registered to that TNS. You did not add your database to the TNS, I think. So go to, are you inside the URL? Enter. We are into your TNS. Okay, BTDEV is right here. The port number, did you maintain the same port number?
Yes.
Listener and BTDEV?
Yes.
Okay, exit. Connect to your database. Alter system. Register. Execute. Oh, you are connected to an idle instance. Start up the database. Parameter DB recovery file destination string cannot be translated. And you have an issue with your database, bro. Widen this screen, let me see clearly. Maximize the screen. Yeah. Database recovery file destination string translated. Start field on a file destination directory. No such file or directory. Exit. Go to your array log. You know how to go to your array log. It's in your base directory. $CD. / or CD. Okay, go ahead. If you know, yeah, just use the method to know this.
Add me.
CD DIAG. DIAG, yes. RDBMS. RDBMS. CDB1. No, BTDEV is where you're going to. You already have a container database. Do you remember when you created?
The server was given to me by.
The server was given to you like this?
Yeah, it was given to me like this.
Oh, okay.
Most of the machines were preset.
BTDEV one more time. be uppercase. Okay. TV trace. Okay. Now just do VI. No, do more. No, do VI. More will take us constant. VI. No more. VI into alert, then tap key. Good. Enter. Shift uppercase G. Okay, alert lock is read from bottom top approach. Most recent file transactions are recorded at the bottom. So let us see your most recent transactions. We should be able to find some issues related to you not being able to start up the database. Yes. User specified limit on the amount. Database recovery related files and does not reflect the amount of space available in the underlying file system. Yes, and this code. And when creating this database, did you choose the automatic storage management? I think you guys have not got that. Because I'm wondering why it's talking about the ASM here. Anyway, just let's go up a little bit and see if we have anything more. Using standby archive tests, parameter default value as use TB create this mount. What's today's dates? It's
7th.
August
7th.
7, right?
Yeah.
And the time. Database mount. Yeah, because in this alert lock, you are checking the time, the date and the time to be sure you are looking at the most recent transaction, okay? So that's why I'm asking about the dates and the time, so we are all looking at the same kind of information. Go up a little there, we are yet to see an error changing this. Wait a minute, network. Go up. Just go up until we see anything red. Let's see if we can find any error. It's a huge file. Let's go quick. There you go to stop. Wait. Okay, continue. Okay, wait here. We see one error. What's this date? Like this. Page size available, page expected, page allocated. Continue.
That's it.
Is that the end? Are you using your up arrow or you're using your mouse? Okay, so if that's the end, then there's no further information needed for us to fix that situation. Okay, you can exit this since if that's the end, this parameter file is usually large file. Exit. Go back to that error. Let's see. Let me look at it again. Database.
This?
No. Just try to connect. That thing is a little bit far. Just connect. Yes, sys. Start up. Wait. You know what? Go to your class T. Exit this. Class T. Connect to class T. Check if class T is up and running. Shut it down. Okay. Exit. Connect to 12C. 6. Startup. Okay. Connect to database verified desks. Destination string cannot be translated. Start field on a file destination directory. Error. No such file directory. So apparently this DB recovery file does not exist. And this thing is set at the level of the database. You have to be connected to set this location. We know sometimes it can be defined by you yourself. You probably must have manipulated this thing. Have you, by any chance, is there any exercise that you guys did and you had to set your desk recovery file desk and size? I think
it was set to be automatically to leave it. So I don't know how it got that.
Sorry? No, at some point when you are like, have you done backups?
We did.
When you want to put your database in archive lock mode.
No, we've just done Arman. No, not Arman. Data
Arman
pump.
is the backup.
Data pump.
Data pump.
Yeah.
So at no point you guys have done some exercises where you have to set your database recovery file size and destination to a particular location. Because it's possible you might have done this and changed the location of your recovery file desk. And at the beginning, when you were creating your database, you had checked this recovery file thing. You had checked it for automatic to be set automatically upon creation. If you check this, that is why you probably may be having this kind of issue now. At some point, you manipulated this. So, what we will do, we may have to
drop it and
drop this database, okay, and create a new one. So, but it's no issue. We don't need a class T, a BTDev database. What we need is a container database that we are going to create. So don't worry about this process of dropping it right now. You can fix that later on. Okay. So, but maybe that's why your thing is not able to listen to. But it's not even the reason. It's still supposed to listen to that seed, because it's listening to the seed name. So go back to exit this. Okay, netmgr. It's already 11:17. Okay. Yes. Database, go to listening location. Database services. Okay, you did not add this one, that's the problem. So add it. But your database has an issue. You have to. What I advise you is don't just drop it. Try to troubleshoot it by yourself, okay? Hey, Zion, do you understand?
I understand.
Yeah, try to do some research on how to fix that. If all fails, then you drop it. So use it for some practice. Don't do. Yeah. Quit, save and no, don't do it that way. Let's exit here. Yes, exit from here. Yeah. Sometimes these errors, when you see them, is a way to make you learn more. So go online, research on how to. Start with the listener name.
I'm checking the stats to see if who's on.
Yeah, use the particular listener name to start to check anything. And stop it. It was running before. There, start. Yeah, you see now it's listening to that BT dev. So that was just what you missed. But anyway, we have also discovered your. No, you cannot start. It will not solve that problem. Don't even bother. It will not solve that problem. It has nothing to do with that. Okay, stop sharing. Go and stop your class T database. Oh, I think you stopped it already.
I stopped it already, yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't start it. Stanley and everybody else, stop your class T if it's running. Now the issue is it's simple. The instance is sharing the memory. Okay. The instance is sharing the memory. So at some point, if the memory is not enough, you may not be able to host multiple databases on that instance. So for somebody, you can still not stop it, and you successfully install the database and start it, no issues. But to be on the safe side, stop the database because I'm not sure we all have very sufficient memories. So you stop your class T database and start.
What if it's idle instead? It's already stopped, right?
We are not sure, but yeah, it could be possible that it's
Just
stopped.
shut it
That's
down.
what it's idle because you can just do select. You know how to verify if your database is in the read write is open?
No.
Do a select statement. Select open underscore mode.
Open
Underscore
mode. Okay.
Space from $3 database. So that's that view, that database view. You can use that database view to verify the database is open or not. So if you run that, if it's read write, it means it's open. The database is not even mounted. If it's not open, it's going to tell you database you're not connected to the database. Okay, so let's move on. Everybody is fine now. I'm setting. I think we are all able to connect our listener to the seed BTDev. Next thing now is we're going to create that BTDev, our container database. Clear my screen. Okay, so DBCA is just one of the tools or one of the ways in which we can create a container database. It's okay, so it gives you the opportunity to choose between both creation time, to choose between the container database if you want to create a container database and add a pluggable database, or you want to choose between creating a container database and a non-container database. DBCA is the tool that we use. Okay, so we are going to fire this utility, DBCA, that we all know, and create our container database, DBCA. I'm going to use ampersand. Use one in the background. Take it away. Can you guys, my camera, excuse me. Have you guys fired that command? Your wizard should come up like this. So everybody here. Floribert, I asked if you are okay now. Floribert, are you there? Is Floribert here? Okay. Stanley, do you have this thing?
Yes.
Zion, do you have it?
Yes, I do.
Yes? I didn't get your response, please, because I want to continue. I don't want to leave people behind.
Based on what I have here, it says I already have a container database on this machine. Probably.
Okay, I'm not getting you clearly, but I assume you're trying to say you have it. So if you have this, we are going to create a database. See, we have different options here. Create a database, configure an existing database, delete a database. So Zion, in case you choose to drop that database, you have to run this DBCA and then choose delete database. If it exists, it will delete. If it exists, you see this delete option will be highlighted like this. And then you choose it, it's going to show you the available databases that you can delete.
Arnold, what he's trying to say is that the new machine that Prof gave him already have a container database on it.
Okay, so are you able to access that container database? All right, the rest of you who don't have it, follow. I'm going to create, we have these different options, manage template and manage pluggable database, but we want to create a container database. Next. Typical configuration, we don't want all of these, we can just take advanced configuration.
Sorry, Arnold, are you gone too far, or you just started?
We are just starting. I've been calling you here for like hours.
No, I had to mute here because I was on phone with
So did you guys succeed? Are you okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so fire this command. DBCA. This one. Fire this command and it's going to bring you up here.
DBCA.
If you are there, if you are there, you let me know so I move on. Florida, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, so next, to create the database, we choose advanced configuration on the next page. The next task, choose advanced configuration. Next, general purpose or transaction processing. This is what we are going to use for the template. We use this one and leave everything the way it is. Don't change anything. Next. Global database name, we will have to give it container database. You can say CDB1 or CDB, whichever one, but I'm just giving CDB1. Okay, remember, when I was explaining my small diagram there, I said you could create your pluggable database alongside your container database if you wish. If not, you select the pluggable database if you don't want to. So like right here, we have create empty container database. You choose this one, and this one is going to create a. So upon creation of this database, there will be no pluggable database attached to it. However, you have your seed, pluggable seed database, which will be created by default. But if we want to create a pluggable database, you choose this, create a container database with one or more PDBs. So you can add a PDB here if you want to give like 2 PDBs. But we are going to create one for now. So even if you put 2, what will happen in the background? This Oracle is going to name the PDBs as BTDEV PDB1, BTDEV PDB2. So if you see here, I have increased the number of the PDB by 2, but it doesn't give you the opportunity to give 2 different PDB names. You can see, right? So what happens is in the background, Oracle is going to name the PDBs for you if you do it this way. It's going to give you PDB1, PDB2 for like BTDEV, PDB1, BTDEV, PDB2. Oracle will do that. So, but I'm going to we are creating just one pluggable database. I'll take next, if everybody is cool with at this point. We are going to use following for the database storage attribute. We choose the second one. We'll not use the template. Okay, use Oracle manage files. Yeah, we can use this. Let us try to multiplex video logs and control files. Let me see if we can do that here. Okay, no, let's just leave this. We can do it after creating the database. Cancel this. File location variables. You want to see where your file location variables are. You click here, you will see your database unique name is CDB1. This is how it's going to be created. Oracle base and the home is this. This is the home directory for the container database we'll be creating. Okay, and the seed is still PDB1. Click OK. Next. I hope I'm not too fast. I'm not leaving anybody behind. We are not going to specify this fast recovery area. We'll leave it the way it is. Okay, we'll leave this the way it is, and enable archive. We will not enable it. If need be, we'll enable it manually. Next. We already have some listeners. I have list BTDEV. Okay, so I'm going to make mine to listen to this BTDEV. So I'll take next. Make sure you have an existing listener too.
I do not have any.
You don't have any listener? Did you follow the steps we did to ensure your listener is?
Yeah, but I have a listener that I was listening to BTDEV, so I didn't feel the need to create a new one.
So you don't have any listener in here?
On this page, no.
Okay. But you have to have a listener to connect to it. Okay. You have to have a listener. Click next. Let's see if anything comes up for you.
Okay.
Stanley, how about you?
I have 2 listeners. I have the regular listener and I have the listener BTDEV, but then
So
the first listener is down.
Uncheck the first listener.
The one that's down.
Yeah, the listener, the one that has the name,
Yes, I unchecked it.
and leave this one.
Okay.
This is deaf. Yours will be a different name. And then click next. Deborah, are you able to move to the next page, to the next task?
No, it won't because it says create a new listener.
Yes, because your listener, there's a problem with your
There's a check to choose. Listener. Go back there, you'll see a check.
Yes, there's if you go back here.
Yes.
Then enter the listener name.
Okay.
Enter one like you see him has on the screen there.
Yes. So let me just pretend I'm going to create one so you see. So you put your listener name here, the listener name you want to give.
Okay.
I'm not going to put anything because I don't need it. So make sure just give
you can still create one and drop it later on. Just put it in.
Okay.
Okay, I should put it create one. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I put listener.
Yes, so let me just say I put list.
Like list test or something.
Do I need to stop my listener before we start this?
No.
Just follow what I'm doing, please.
It's giving me an error. That's why I'm asking.
Change the port number. Give something like 23 or 22.
Okay.
Click next. So I'm gonna check this.
You don't have to. They can all be checked. It's just that they'll all be listening to that database. That's all.
Okay. All right. So click next.
Yes, I did.
My listener has been created for this. So configure Oracle. We don't need this for now. Leave everything as it is and take next.
Okay.
Everybody.
Who remembers what Oracle Database Vault is for? I know we saw that somewhere in class in the textbook.
Security.
Yes.
Permission security.
That pays about security, but the Data Vault, a lot of people don't use it. It's very expensive. Okay. Go next.
Okay. So just leave the security part the way it is. Click next. Okay, this is where I was talking about memory. We said at some point upon creation of the database, you either have to allow Oracle to dynamically allocate allocate the shared memory for you. However, you can give a size here at this point. You can choose to. But I'm going to leave it like this in my case. But you can see our SGA size is almost 1 gig. And the PGA size is 368 megabytes. Okay. So I'm going to leave it the way it is. Use manual shared memory management. We're not going to do that, or use automatic memory. If you want this to be automatically allocated, then we select this one, use automatic memory management. Oracle automatically manage our memory for us. Okay, so I'm going to take next. I'm not configuring OEM, so I'm going to uncheck this one.
Is that 19 or 12?
This is 12. All of them have a 12.
Okay. When you do 19, you configure. I think the 19 OEM works.
Oh, okay.
But the 12 will not work. Yeah, so you can uncheck that.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we are all good. Click next. And we want to give a password. Use the administrative password for all accounts. So give something like sys for the password. Something you can remember. I've given sys or lower cases. Going to take next. This is just a warning. So yes, I'm sure I want to continue. And I'm going to generate a database creation script. Leave everything the way it is, only add, check this box. We are going to generate that script, give it some name. I'll give it CDB1, just to differentiate it from my BT dev script that already exists.
Yeah, that right. What happens is that name there will be the name of a folder inside the scripts folder.
Yes, Prof.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I would name it. So you look at it, you can know it. That's why I usually put on like maybe CDB creation or create or something.
Yes.
Just so when you look at it, you know that that's the scripts in there.
So I'm going to give it this name that is above here. See, it says generate database creation script. I'll just keep this creation script just to, like Prof said, for identification. So that when we are looking for it, script. Okay, so everybody here, I'll do this and I take next. Okay, so my database is ready for installation. The summary of all what we've done so far from the beginning of this installation. If you are all here, we just hit finish. It's going to check for, it will check all these, like copy the data files, create and starting Oracle instances. It's going to take a while. But the silent mode is a little bit faster than using the utility DBCA.
Arnold, I'm getting error.
What kind of error do you have, please?
It says database configuration assistant error. L2, and it said passing command line arguments.
Okay, let me stop sharing. Is there anybody else who has similar situation? I'll stop sharing so that you share your screen. Let us see. Share your screen. Let's see the kind of error.
Zion, how do I share this thing again? I forgot completely. Oh my God.
I hope everybody is.
Because I didn't use the iPad sign.
Point. We are our databases are all creating smoothly. Stanley.
Yes, it's 0%. It's creating.
Creating.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Arnold.
Yes, sir.
What was the global database name?
I can't see it.
It's we gave.
Okay, so I can't have it no more.
What name did we give? CDB.
CDB
1. CDB 1.
Oh,
CDB
I know what I did wrong. The iPad sign.
CDB 1, put capital C, capital CB1.
Okay. Did you say you know what you did wrong?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and fix your thing. You can stop sharing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So anybody else who's having issues creating the database? So while it's creating, if anybody has any, worries, questions on multi-tenant databases, please ask so you can be clarified. Okay. Why the database is the creation state. If not, I'll ask my own question. The applications, where are the applications are connected to which of the databases? Is it connected to the container database? Do you have the applications connected to the application database or the PD pluggable database or the container database? What I mean by the application, for example, if you've configured like a stack where you have maybe, for example, a website, it's an application, right? That application should be configured on a database. Will it be at the container level or at the PDB level?
Container level. It will be plugged to the container.
The application will be plugged to the container. Okay. Why is there any reason why you think it should be plugged? The application should be configured on the container?
So with this diagram, let's say the application is PDB1, and let's say
application would be something like a website.
Yes.
PDB1 is a database. CDB root is the container database.
Container database.
Yes. So an application would be something like a website, www.amazon, for example. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Amazon, and we are mounting. See, for example, we create this website. This website has to be created on a database, right? It has to be created to have access, to be connected to a database, such that through this application, which is a website, you can access the database. So my question is, through this application, what database will you be accessing? The container database? Like
PDB.
Or the database?
It will be a PDB.
It should be PDB then.
The PDB. Why would you say so?
Because the objects that is going to be used for the static website should be stored in a database, which is going to be plugged into the CDB database. And so when you want to access it, you will access it, let's say PDB2, which is actually having the objects that the website is going to use.
Okay, that's nice. Any other additional explanation to that? Anybody has a different view or something to add?
I think it's the same view I share with Stanley, but just simple. The PDB is what gives you that connection. The application, the purpose of that PDB is to give you that. You're using the application in that PDB to have that connection to the database.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's nice.
That's kind of a service of the PDB.
What is the service?
So my only addition there is this. Just think of the word container. The container contains the PDB.
Yes.
And a container can contain maybe 256 PDBs or something like that. I have to look for that number again.
Yes,
it can contain many PDBs. And each PDB is used for a specific thing. So if you want, say like a website, like he's saying, we'll create a PDB. A PDB is a database. The container is just a container that contains databases. So the application will be pointing to its own specific database. So if you have 250 databases, each application will point into its own database. And therefore, this container thing, right, this whole idea is, they came up with a container idea to consolidate databases. At one point, they found out that many companies had several databases, small databases scattered all over the place. So now they bring this idea, this container idea, to take all those databases and put them inside one container. Because each of those databases, they can function like a regular database, like we had Class T. Okay, so the container just makes it easy to manage multiple databases together.
Thank you, Prof. And
Just out of curiosity,
anything to add to what Prof just explained and to the rest of all the other explanation is that, like Prof in his explanation, even if we did not detect something, one thing that was conspicuous in his explanation is that a container does not hold data. However, it holds the databases that contains the data. So that is if you have to pick something from Prof's explanation, a container does not hold the data, but it holds the databases that holds the data. So that is why all applications should be pointing to specific PDBs, because those are the databases.
I know a quick question.
Yes.
Okay.
I know a quick question. In relation, like this container, when you relate it to something like S3, which are like used to store like objects, right?
Yes.
There are instances where you can actually run a static website which can actually point to these objects that are actually stored in an S3 storage. In that particular case, is that being a PDB?
Ask your question again. I don't think I get it.
So there are instances whereby you can actually create an S3 bucket, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually store objects, right, and you can use and you can use it to these objects. You can have a website which is actually pointing to the objects in these S3 buckets.
S3 bucket, yes.
Right. In that case, can you say it's actually a PDB? Like,
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't really say so, because an S3 bucket is a storage. An S3 bucket is a storage where you can take you can store your data in, right? But remember, even if you have an S3 bucket that is configured to host your data, you should also have an instance. So you have something like an instance. There must be an instance. That's that machine. Okay. Have an instance that S3 bucket has a link to, and S3 you have probably be using that when you kind of like previewing a situation where you can have some failover, or maybe a situation where you are kind of like trying to do some load balancing, and in case there's too much load on one instance, then you are rerouting users to be accessing data that is stored inside the S3 bucket. But your database obviously will be configured in this instance. So in my understanding, I'm not sure if an S3 bucket will be qualified to be as a container that will host multiple databases.
Okay.
Yes, but it should be connected to an instance, and that instance is where you can create, because we have created
AUC2
we have deployed Oracle 12c and 19c to cloud, right?
Yeah.
And when we did that, we had to prepare our machine, and inside that machine, we created our database. We could have still created this same thing, container database, in that instance.
Okay.
Yes, and there we are going to have our container database and all its pluggable databases. However, we probably want to do some backups and keep them inside an S3 bucket.
Oh, okay. For
Such
archiving.
that in case we are having some issues with maybe there's too much input there's too much IO on the application. Our website is too busy, for example, like Amazon.
Yeah.
That's a very busy website. And that means we have to do some load balancing. And we also have to do something they call bastion host. We also have to have some kind of bastion host that will have to, because there's a lot of networking to be done in there, like your VPC and all of that. You have to create those things.
Okay.
And then, yes, that way you probably want to be switching between, rerouting traffic between the buckets in case one instance is
down.
Yes, in case one instance is having some kind of too much load on it. So it's, to my understanding, it's kind of different.
Okay.
It's different. An S3 bucket will not be qualified for container database.
Arnold.
Yes, please.
Yeah, please. I was just getting all the explanation. Actually, there's some information here that I could not get because my GUI pop up. It took a long time to pop up, so I could not meet up with that speed. So I'm still at the creation mode, but I cannot just take any information that I see because I need to know exactly what you did. So while this is cloning, I don't know if you can just rush me.
Let us understand what you're saying.
It needs the document to follow the CDB, container-based creation.
Sorry?
It needs the document to create the CDB. That's what it's saying.
That he needs a document?
Yes, the line.
No, what I'm saying actually is that I'm still at the creation mode because I cannot just take any information that is there since you had the document. Actually, my GUI took a long time to pop up, so I could not meet up with that speed.
Well, you are at this point. We are all at this. Let me show you. Mine is not done here.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. As it's cloning, I believe it's going to take some time.
Yes.
Can you just help move me up? I'm still at the creation mode.
Are you here? Look at my screen. Do you see this?
Yes.
Are you at this point?
No.
Okay, then that's why I stopped sharing. I asked you to share.
In a minute, I posted the error that I'm getting. It has to do with the listener. So if you
put your did you put your AnyDesk? If you put AnyDesk, somebody will see it and rush to help you.
You said what?
If you posted in the group, add your AnyDesk there.
Okay, all right, I'll do that right away. Thank you.
Someone will help you. I think we have assist. Hey, advanced configuration. Choose advanced configuration. Advanced is the radio button right there. Next. Next. Leave it the way it is next.
Yes, you on the next.
Yes, everything here. Change the global database name. I thought you asked us this.
Yeah, that we did that from the beginning.
Okay. Change the name here like CDB1. Change that to CDB1. CDB1 should be the same with the C name.
Yeah. Well, this thing is slow.
Oh, yeah, I think it's slow. Okay.
Okay.
Same thing with the C. Next. Wait. Data PDB name, go back. Change this Oracle PDB name to CDB. You can remove that ORCL. Just remove ORCL and put CDB1. So it should be identified. Stanley, did we change this?
No, I use BTDev.
Or you use BTDev?
Yeah.
But that's going to confuse you. But anyway, it's inside a container database, so it's fine. CDB.
So what?
Lowercase. Yeah, it's just for identification purpose. Even if you had left it that way, you still have created, but it's good for naming convention. Next. Okay, next. Looks like you had already done this and then you took some back steps. Next. Uncheck that specify fast recovery area. Next. Okay, so the listener you created, can you find it here? Listener underscore BTDev, is that the listener name for that you are using?
Let me see.
Listener underscore BTDev, is that the?
I can't remember if that exactly the one.
It should be because you have BTDev up there. You have listener underscore BTDev. So just you can also check that BTDev. So check that BTDev and take next, since you're not too sure. In case you happen to forget to create the listener, you can create it here by create a new listener and give the listener name. And if it doesn't see create, you change the button by create.
As in the case that I don't have a listener, I want to change.
If you don't have it, or if you choose to create a different listener from what you have here, and you want it to give a different name.
Okay.
You can still create one if you want to. In most cases, it's going to ask you to use a different button.
So I move next.
Yes. Okay, your BTDEF is not running. Uncheck it. Uncheck BTDEF. Don't need it anyway. That is why it was checked. Yeah, take next. But if you really needed it, you would have gone and then start the listener BTDEF, then come back and check it. Next. Next. Yes, next.
The password here is 6, right?
Check the next one. Check the second radio. Yes. And then put 6 now.
Next.
Yes, sir.
Then I don't have a choice there. Check. Come on.
Yes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Anor?
Yes, yes.
I'm on the next page.
Okay, go to generate database creation script.
And next.
No. Go to where you have script inside this this destination directory.
Yeah.
Yes, click there. // CDB1 underscore creation underscore scripts. CDB1. Underscore. You can put it in uppercase. I think you give. Just put it in uppercase. Then the rest can go in lower cases. Underscore creation. That's uppercase C creation underscore script. Then you take next.
Creation?
Yes, underscore scripts. Yeah, finish. Okay, so you can stop sharing, please.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, mine is done. Who else?
Mine's
Stanley,
done.
yes.
Mine's done.
Yes. So when you look at server parameter file name, you see the location where the SP file is created. It's located, created and located. You know, upon creation of a database, you can see here the SP file is created by default. Okay. And like we all said initially, that this is one of the files that will be shared in the container database. The SP file you see here is created. Okay, so you can close this. There's nothing else to do. Our database has been created successfully. We have the container database created, CDB1, and close this. Floribel, you just have to follow because yours is just starting. Okay, guys, what we have used the advanced mode to create our container database. I would like to leave at the end of the day, you guys will do your own practice. After this, you try to use the GBCA to create your container database, but use the create a database with default configuration mode. That's what is in the book, okay? You can also use that and follow the steps in the book, and you see what, if there is any difference and why you should choose between the two, just for practice sake. Okay, so let us now try to connect to our container database. It's been created. Okay, we created that in the BTDev. Okay, you can see my listener is listening to the database, the listener that I created when creating my database. I have CDB1. So check your own listener. Let's see if you did not create it's listening to my CDB1 instance. Okay, a listener is listening to my CDB1 instance. Check your status and see. Let's see if yours will listen to your CDB1 instance.
Okay. Just one little thing there. To find out what listeners are running, use PS minus
Yes.
EF.
Okay.
So let's see how many listeners. I remember you had like 3 of them.
Yes, I had 2, then I added 1.
Okay. PS minus EF.
PS minus EF. Grep.
Pipe. Grep.
Okay.
Pipe. Grep. TNS. So you have 4 listeners running.
4 listeners running. So guys, run the same command. And
that's a command everybody should try to remember.
Yeah.
Now the status that you checked was for the default listener.
Yes.
I know the default by looking at that alias. Go up a little bit, you see alias? Down. Right. No, up, slowly, up.
Again.
Up. There, down, 2, 3 lines.
Oh, yes, yeah. It says listener.
Yeah. So now, to check the other listener, use that same command. Just use the upper arrow, get the ls and rctl start. Then you enter list btdev.
List btdev.
So now is to check the status of that particular listener. So that listener is listening.
Yeah.
Now, do that again and check the other listener. I think your other one is list test.
List test btdev. List test, yes.
Use your upper arrow. Yeah.
Yes, it's listening.
That bad boy too is listening. You see? So multiple listeners can listen to the same database.
Yes.
But normally it's often a good idea to have just one listener.
Okay. So as per what we have on the document, after creating the container database using CGBA, we have to check the listener, which is what we have done. Let me go to, this is it. This is the next thing we're supposed to do as per the exercise. Check the listener. We've done that, and Prof has helped us to do it in multiple ways.
Yeah, just write that there too, just so in case.
Here, up here?
Yeah, no, below. Like where you have status.
Here? Okay, I should just add the...
Can you type in there?
Yeah, I can type inside.
No, just add the word.
The PF.
Yes.
PS.
So after that, you're supposed to enter. If you don't enter a listener name, it takes the default listener name, which is listener, right? So what I want to do is just add all the other possible.
Okay, let me just copy and drop it there.
Yeah, that's just copy, add it, put it below.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, just put below this output.
Anyway, let me just use the up arrow a couple of times and I'll see that.
Yeah, just use your upper arrow, you see it.
Yeah, this is one.
Yeah, copy that one. Paste it below. Just paste it below this output.
Yeah.
Put it below this thing, down to the end of this. Yeah.
Right here, right?
Yes. Add it down there. Just another alternative. Mhm. Yeah. Hit enter. Go down so there's a space now, Papa. You check listener by name.
Prof, do you think I should put this on the new place so I can highlight
Yeah,
it?
yeah, just put it on its own thing below. Put it out of that box.
Yeah. And I can do this.
Yeah, so you can highlight that. Then
so I can drop all these other ones now inside there.
Mm-hmm.
And let me also just put this one to check.
Yes, that's very, very important. That one first. Yeah, that one can be. Just type there like to verify names of listeners, names of running listeners or something.
Active listeners.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just add these other ones now.
Yeah. No, just you don't have to put all, but not everybody has all of them.
One is enough. Okay.
Yeah, just there's a V at the end there.
BT Dev.
And the name can be anything, but often it's good to make the name associated with the instance you want it to listen to.
Okay. Okay, so the next way to create our container database now is to use SQL Plus. So we are following the exercises on our book, okay? The next is to use SQL Plus to create a container database. Is everybody, I hope we are not going too fast, and if you have questions, please you ask. If you're up to where we are, it's good. Okay, so here what we are going to do is the first thing we are expected to enable the pluggable database and set it to true. So, Prof, I have a quick question. You see, here in the document, it didn't really say we should connect to. Are we supposed to connect to whatever database we have? Because we have to do this at the command line. No.
Wait, let me see. Alternate. What step was that?
It says enable pluggable database set to true. So do I have to connect?
Wait, hold on. I'm looking for the whatever. What were you supposed to do there? What is it all about?
Okay, so this is to create, use SQL Plus to create a container database.
Oh, hit enter, go down now, and then highlight that topic. It's confusing in there.
Okay.
Your notes. Step number 2.
Okay, I have the.
Yeah, I see that, but take the step number 2 away from the other thing, just for clarity. You're saying that note. I was trying to read that note. I couldn't see what it is. Step number 2.
This one.
Also, step number 2 up now. Up.
Yeah, this is step number 2.
Yeah. So go space now. Shouldn't there be a space after that? It's much clearer to read. Because I was looking at it, I could not.
Oh, like this?
No.
Like this.
The one that is step number. Yeah.
Okay. That was too close. Okay.
Uh, Oh, okay. I see what they're doing here. So they're trying to create a PDB using that command down there.
CDB, yes.
Yeah, using the real long way. So enable. This parameter consists of matched pairs of strings. PDB file name convert. What chapter are we on?
We are on chapter 32 and page 898.
Okay. So PDB set that to true.
However, this one is inside the note, but I just single it out.
Are you the one who single it out like that?
Yeah, I'm the one who single it out.
Oh, no doubt. Because I'm looking at it like, where is that supposed to go?
Because inside the note is specified that this should be set to true.
So you alter system.
We have to create this before going to do this.
So that is alter system set. That's what they're saying. Otherwise, listen.
Yes.
You're supposed to make a P file.
Sorry?
You're supposed to make a P file or SP file that contains that thing.
Okay.
Even the second one.
Yes, it's even said it should.
Doesn't it say it in the thing?
Yeah. But what has to be in the SP file is the PDB file on the PDB underscore file underscore name underscore convert. That has to be database.
Let me see the actual document.
Okay, let me go to the document itself. I have it open here.
That doesn't seem too clear. Where's the section?
Okay, it's page 988. 901-898. It's right here. So
using SQL Plus.
So this is it.
The CDB is distinguished. Then create database command, include enable pluggable database command to create necessary structures, additional instance parameters. So you're setting this inside your parameter file. Keys can be specified. Was that a real exercise or they just?
No. This is just part of the note, but see.
Just part of that is just part of the note.
No, it's just part of the note. It's just that
there's a lot missing there that they did not put.
I highlighted it.
Yeah, but listen, if it's not an exercise, wait.
This is the exercise.
But the one you're looking at, was it an exercise?
No, sir. I said it's part of the note.
Then don't do it.
Okay.
Because that thing, right?
Yes, sir.
You have to do a P file. You have to do a P file that contains that PDB file name convert. Then it has that something set in there.
Yes, it has this.
Then after I finish all of that, even put OMF inside. There's a whole lot of things missing there that have not been put. So
so we just leave it like that.
Yeah, leave that. Do the exercise below.
Okay, so we move to the exercise.
Yes. That exercise walks you through the same thing, really.
Okay. So in this exercise, we are going to use SQL Plus to create the container database following this.
But if you see number 1 now, that's where you do the init.ori. See that? The init DORA is called init CDBA.
Yes, a database.
So you copy all that thing, drop it inside that thing. So copy that name at the top now, on the first line, line 1. Line 1
This
first.
one. Yeah, this is line 1. Right here.
Okay. But copy the exercise, go put it someplace so you can edit, because there's a lot of editing.
I think I should have it, but let me just copy it first.
No, copy from the exercise now, from the word exercise at the top. Yeah.
I should have it. See.
Everybody in this class should be able to do that stuff now. You all know VI, you all know stuff.
Okay. So this is it. I already have it here. Create a container database. In this exercise, you create container database.
Okay, you have it there.
So this is the first one.
So get rid of the one at the top if it's not part of it now, Papa, so you don't get confused.
Okay.
Where was that? Am I just reading?
Right here. This one. Take it out.
All the way down, huh? All the way down to the word exercise. Because all that was just just
let me plug my thing out of battery.
All the way down there, yeah. Yep. Yeah, and then format that exercise and to do it. Why are you taking that part out?
Anyway, it says create a container. I think it's just a repetition.
That's good. Wasting time editing the English.